Alright, I'm gonna try to do a really super casual video because I'm sick. I've been sick for months now. It's been a really rough time for me, so, you know. But I did want to talk about this because it's something I'm good at. I'm good at explanations and I'm good at helping people understand, and it sounds like this is something that's really needed here. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about Snag Tights and Violet Vixanne. Just like the thing with Emily Autumn, I'm going to refrain from talking too much about the details of what happened. The shit's out, well, I guess it's not out there now, but it's out there somewhere. You can get details somehow. What I'm going to focus on is why this is an important thing that's going on. And my kind of stance on it. I mean, if I'm making this video, you probably know my stance on it. But yeah, let's get down. Okay, so to start off with, the situation itself did not start off about race, but it definitely became about it. And we're gonna start off with just the very beginning. So at the very beginning, basically what had happened was Violet, she got an interview. She was communicating with Snag Tights. She got a job, or she applied for a job. She got an interview, and then, you know, they sent her an email that said, let's get a date together. And Violet then responded within an hour, telling them what date and time would work for her. And then after that, they ghosted her for a week. And to understand, the interview was like set to be like 2-3 days after the initial email was sent. So they ghosted her up to the interview and then past the interview with her asking questions. And that's the big thing for me. That's the real crux of this. Well, that was what started out as the problem. So basically, interview day came and went. So interview day came. Well, actually, I'm sorry. She sent the message and then they didn't respond. And she's like, hey, you guys got my date? Sure. Okay. Day before the interview comes, Violet's like, hey, just checking in. We're doing this interview tomorrow. No response. Day of the interview comes. She's like, you know, are you going to send me a Zoom link? How are we doing this? Whatever. No answer. So then after that, she's just like, hey guys, are we going to reschedule the interview? What's going on? I just want some details, please, you know, details, please, whatever. After a full 7 fucking days, they finally answer her, excuse me, whoever the social media person is, answering that, oh, we had a meeting and decided to go with a smaller team, so we'll keep a lookout for other job positions or whatever, that you're welcome to apply for any other position, whatever. And of course, Violet was fucking heartbroken because she was looking forward to the interview, and not only, like, she got the interview, but then she didn't get it, and they just pulled it away, and then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, we're not gonna hire you. The thing is, companies do this shit all the time. It happened to me. I worked at a company that I honestly hated, but I worked the night shift, so I would take the last bus to this job and the first bus when home when the job was over. And so I came into work and my card just didn't work. And I was very confused. It was really embarrassing, me asking security, hey, my card's not working, what's going on? They had to call my manager and they're like, oh yeah, she don't work here no more. And I was like, was y'all gonna tell me? Y'all can give me a phone call, nothing. I just got here, embarrassed my whole and fucking show, like, just embarrassed my whole self. And now I can't even get home because I already rode the last bus thing came by. And I was heartbroken. I fucking cried on the way to the bus stop trying to sit there and figure out what I was gonna do. But I didn't even like this job. But that shit hurts. So, but again, companies do this all the time. But that doesn't mean it's right. It's really bad fucking business. It's awful. And we should absolutely be able to blacklist companies that treat their potential employees this way, that treat their employees this way, that treat their customers this way. And I mean, that's true to me. That's it. We should be able to, as people, say, hey, don't shop from these people, they're assholes. And if Snag Tights can't take that, then that's really on them, not anybody else, you know? I need to get this back on track. I'm trying to put my thoughts were more coherent earlier. But yeah, so she posted a video. So Violet posted a story of her crying, being heartbroken that she was ghosted by Snag Tights. And of course, she started inferring about why that could possibly be. And Snag Tights, or well, she first said that it was probably has something to do with her Tim Burton video and her abrasive kind of attitude. You know, she's somebody who doesn't stay silent. It doesn't matter if she's right or wrong. She's going to tell you how she feels. And if she feels wrong, she'll, you know, recant, whatever. She'll come back and be like, okay, so that might have been wrong, y'all. But she's loud and it comes off as abrasive, which I don't like the word, but it, you know, I guess it kind of understand maybe how they might have seen it. And she really kind of did it. She really mostly chalked it up to her attitude. She did not say they were racist. However, she did kind of infer that because she called Tim Burton a racist, they didn't like that, if that makes sense. That, which I guess to a white person may sound like they were a race, like an apologist for racist. I don't know, but that's not really what she said. She said that it was her abrasive attitude and how she was vocal against that, and how technically Tim Burton makes them money because they use patterns and stuff from his movies and shit. So they probably didn't like that. That was a possibility. If they didn't like that she had to say that, the simplest solution was for them not to fucking ghost her. Because now she has to infer why she was ghosted, why they didn't talk to her about this from the beginning. She just has to make a guess. She has to say, what was wrong? Where did I go wrong in this? Because that's what we all do. Aren't we supposed to do that? Whenever we apply for a job, we're supposed to say, well, where did we go wrong? How can we improve upon this? Whatever, so we can better get that job. And she had to sit there and think about it. And that's the solution she came up with. As a business, if you communicated, she wouldn't have had to make that inference. But okay. Taking that, rewind it back. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about their statement that they had a meeting and they said that they were going with a smaller team. While I don't necessarily believe that it had to do I'm not sure why they did it. And the more I look at it, the only thing I can think of is that maybe she was too abrasive for them. But initially when I saw that, I didn't believe that that was really what happened, because she had posted about Snag Tights before, and as far as I understood, she had communicated with them before. I'm like, so y'all know her, y'all know what she's into, y'all know what's up. Like, I don't understand why y'all act brand new. Like this whole thing about her is, because it's not. If you know, this is not new. So I don't understand why Snag Tights was having these problems. I don't get it. I don't. To me, that didn't make sense, because I'm like, y'all knew her. Why'd y'all give her the interview in the first fucking place? Who knows? Maybe they accidentally gave her the interview and that's why they ghosted her. I don't know. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, maybe it was her persona, her person, whatever. But anyway, that statement that they had a meeting and they decided to go with a smaller team might be true, but it's not an excuse. And honestly, I think it's a crock of shit. And the main reason why is because, when was this meeting? Was it before Violet's interview? Okay. Why did it take you a week to then message her and be like, hey, we're going with a smaller team? Was it before the interview? Was it the day of the interview? Because if it was the day of the interview, then you would have needed to reschedule her interview. You'd be like, oh, snap. Hey, so we're having a meeting today. So I accidentally double scheduled. We'll schedule you another interview. I don't understand why that didn't happen. And then if it was after the interview, why did it take you 4 days? Like, if it was after the interview, then you should have just gave her the interview, because you didn't know that you needed a smaller team until after the interview. So when did this meeting supposedly take place that it took y'all a week to get back? I mean, at the very least, okay, so maybe you didn't have full answers. Maybe you had a meeting before it, and they're like, we're going to have a secondary meeting to talk about it, after her interview. That's fine. If you had a meeting before her interview that said, they want us to halt interviews, you could have just emailed her and be like, hey, sorry, what we're going to do is we're going to halt interviews for a little while. We'll get back to you. So when was this meeting? When was this meeting? I don't know. But anyway, regardless, so up to this point, up to her, Violet posting her story, for me, it was shit. But it was shit because of shitty business practices. Businesses do what Snag Tights did all the time. I know, I've seen it, it's happened to me. But it doesn't mean it's okay. And I think it's fine that she spoke out about that. And she was like, they ghosted me. Because companies do this shit all the time and they really shouldn't get away with it. And we should be able to blacklist companies that treat their potential employees this way, that treat their customer. We do it when they treat their customers like shit. We do it when they treat, I guess we don't do it when they treat their employees like shit. But, and then everybody see those memes and stuff, or those, I guess memes, going around of people walking out of jobs where their bosses don't value them. So this is what happened when they didn't value this person that they said they possibly wanted to hire. That's their fucking fault, in my opinion. That, to me, that's the important thing. And to me, that is the thing we need to start getting vocal about as people, period. We need to start not letting companies get away with this shit. Not letting companies treat us like we're nothing. Period. Regardless of whether it had to do with race, regardless of whether it had to do with her abrasiveness, none of that mattered. It was a shitty business practice, and she came out about their shitty business, their shitty business practices. That's not illegal. That's not wrong. We do it all the fucking time. We do it all the time. We blacklist people all the fucking time. Don't nobody buy from Dolls Kills anymore because their person is trash. Maybe it didn't have to do with how they treated an employee. Maybe it had to do with the way they were talking about race or whatever, but it doesn't matter. We do this all the time. Because in that situation, racism is not valuing your customers. And in this situation, the way they treated Violet, not only did they not value a potential employee, but they didn't value a customer. So, somebody they knew was a customer too. So it didn't matter to me why they did it. It mattered to me that they did it at all. And I know so many people are going to be watching this like, this is spoiled and blah, blah, blah. No, this is millennial. And we are changing the way we work with companies. We are changing our relationship with jobs. We are changing our relationship with employers. And we are walking out of jobs that don't value us and blasting motherfuckers who also don't. We're not putting up with the bullshit anymore. We are not going to be treated like robots because we are not. So, sorry, Snag, but you got called out for a shitty business practice. The right answer at that point would have been like, yeah, we really should have gotten back to you expeditiously with that email, and that is our fault. We lost track of our emails. We are sorry. All you had to do right there. Hell, honestly, you didn't really have to say anything because you're a multi-million fucking dollar company. And Violet is one person with 9,000 followers. And not all of them do fuck with Snag Tights. So what was she hurting? Your reputation, your money? Nobody gives a shit. She's a small person. She's a small person. What full damage was she going to do to your company? So that was the right answer. And hell, the stupid answer would have been to say nothing. Of course, Violet did take to the comments and ask people to be like, hey, what's going on? Why'd you do that? What's going on? What was the real reason? Please explain that. Because she wanted an answer. She wanted an apology. And does she have a right to demand it? I don't know. I mean, the fact is, you have a public platform where people can talk to you. She used your public space. I don't know what you want. That's the thing. That's the thing with public stuff. People can publicly be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, I sent you an interview thing. What's going on? Like, why'd y'all ghost me? What's going on? Because there's something more to that, obviously, because of how long it took. So what was the more? What was the why? They have a public page, and that is not against the rules to ask why you are treating your potential employees like shit. It's not against the law. And I'll say it again. Yes, I know. Everybody knows companies act this way. That does not mean we have to let them act this way. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, I don't give a shit, but I'm sorry Snag Tights had to be the first one, or not even the first one, I don't know. Had to be the trial by fire, I guess. But the truth is, it was a shitty business practice and they didn't address it. So somebody, Violet, wanted answers. She wanted them to address it. She's like, you don't get to treat people like shit and get away with it. That's on them. That's on them. And she took to the comments and she wanted them to address it, and they addressed it wrong. Absolutely fucking wrong. I'm not going to get into the details because it's long and it's stupid, and honestly, I didn't see it all happen real time because I have had lots and lots of migraines. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm doing this video. I'm holding it in my fucking hand, which is not something I typically do. And I'm all over the place. I have had migraines really, really bad and eye pain really, really bad. This light in my fucking ceiling is driving me crazy. So, it's been really hard for me to try to keep up with anything on this, not keep up, but I've seen everything, just not necessarily in real time, and registering everything has been difficult. So anyway, so we're going to get onto the Snag Tights response. I looked in the response and I didn't read the full fucking thing. I skimmed it, not going to lie, but that is because I was looking for some very specific words that were never there. And when I say I skimmed it, I'm not going to be like, blah, 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 what I didn't do was I didn't comprehend it. I didn't sit there and nail each piece, whatever. I didn't do all that. But I also didn't just I read most of each sentence, just every time it's just well, this is what we did as I was like, nope, that's not what on here. This is what nope. All I wanted to see was we apologize to Violet for ghosting her. That was bad business. If they would have just said that, I'd have been like, all right, well, I don't know what all this other stuff around this apology is, but that was it. The truth is, though, in that statement, they never actually apologized. I remember looking at that and I'm like, they didn't say a sorry. They didn't say we apologize. Nothing. They just said, they said, okay, so we didn't get back to, they acknowledged that they didn't get back to Violet in a timely manner, but they don't acknowledge it like it was wrong. They were like, we didn't get back. And I was like, and you're sorry? That's really all the fuck you had to say. That's really it. But instead, they were just like, well, then she decided to blow us up and blah, blah, blah. And all this. First of all, public platform, people are allowed to ask you questions. Period. Don't have a public platform if you don't want people there. People don't review your stockings on your page. People don't go to Yelp and be like, man, this is a shitty business. People don't review you guys? Have y'all never had a review before? Has nobody ever been on your website and been like, I didn't like their stockings. You know what? Their customer service was terrible. Nobody's ever done that for y'all? That's never been a thing? You never did that? That's my big thing about this, is basically what Violet gave was a review of their hiring practices. And okay, and she was hurt. Yeah, but it was basically a review of their hiring practices and said it was shit. Y'all ain't had that happen before? They didn't have anybody come and give them a bad review before? They didn't have people come and they've never had people come and question these bad reviews before? Been like, hey, so I heard y'all, what happened? That's not a thing that y'all deal with? I mean, I don't know. They're a UK brand, but in the US, we review every motherfucking thing. Everybody in the US is a fucking Karen, I'm not gonna lie. We all got something to say, especially if it was bad. We have whole websites dedicated to reviewing businesses that require no, like, they don't require any sign in, nothing. You can review something straight up on Google just because. So, like, nobody's ever given y'all a bad review before? Oh, okay, yeah, Violet has 9,000 followers and a more vocal platform than, I don't know, Yelp, but it was still basically a review of your business practices. So y'all was real, they was really butthurt about it. I'm sorry, I keep saying y'all like I'm talking to Snag Tights. Listen, I'm switching out of tenses, my bad. Like I said, migraine, bright light. I'm trying to end this quick. It's already 20 minutes. I hate myself. Anyway, they reacted. Basically, they completely overreacted. And okay, so I'll say that I'm not going to say Violet overreacted, especially how they're reacting now. I think her reaction was appropriate, but now I think her actions were appropriate. When it started, I was just like, okay, guys, like, do we have to go to the comments about this? But then I thought about it, and again, I was like, this is a bad business practice, and blacklisting businesses and letting businesses know we will not be treated this way is actually a solid thing. It's actually a solid thing. I'm actually kind of here for this, actually. So, I had to think about it. I'm not gonna lie. My initial reaction was, y'all, this is too much. But then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, why not go after businesses who treat potential employees bad? Why not? I don't like it when this happens. Nobody likes it when this shit happens. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to ghost a company, or else they're going to tell other companies not to hire me. Hell, my current job will fucking blacklist me if I leave one day and don't come back. If I don't call in and stuff, they'll let people know about me. I will not be able to use them as a reference. They will let people. So I know I can't treat companies or jobs the way they treated Violet and the way they have treated me in the past. So why should they be allowed to treat us this way? So I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Nah, go for it. Because you're right. This is, regardless of why it happened, we need to start talking about this. We're already walking out of jobs that treat us like shit. Let's go ahead and tell people that if we don't walk in, if we walk in the door and y'all treating us like shit, we're going to, we're just going to say so. If we ain't even made it to the interview and y'all still treating people like shit, we're going to tell. We are snitching. We are telling everybody about you, period. So, yeah, I think this, so, I changed my mind. It took me a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But again, also migraines, not really thinking about things. Didn't want to deal with this today. Didn't want to deal with this ever. I was just like, oh no, not another thing. But I was like, no, actually, yeah, another thing. So anyway, they completely responded in the worst manner by trying to basically smear Violet. And again, y'all act like y'all don't know about her. I don't understand. Y'all really act like y'all didn't know what she was about. Because of course she went the fuck off. Like, oh, really? Oh, really? So y'all gonna sit here and lie? And of course, come on, we learned from Emily Autumn. Keep the receipts. It was my fault for not getting the fucking receipt for the Emily Autumn thing. So we keep the receipts, man. And a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Snag Tights responded on the Emily Autumn thing. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say that though. I'm not gonna say that. That's way back when. But I do kind of remember a little bit of exposure, something going around that with Snag Tights. So anyway, y'all act like y'all ain't know what she was about. So of course she went off. If she went off on you guys for ghosting her on the interview, what made you think she was gonna let you sit there and lie to her fucking face? To the face of her fans, to the face of the people, to the face of your own people. Of course she wasn't gonna let that happen. Of course she wasn't gonna be smeared because of y'all. She wasn't gonna do it. Like, but again, y'all act brand new to this shit. I'm sorry, again, switching tenses. They really acted brand new about it. And, of course, they acted like children, not a fucking business. If they were a business, they would address the problem and either fix it or just be like, we're not going to do anything. This is how we do. Like, you're a multi-million-dollar business. Why did y'all have to spend all this extra time attacking a person? Like, what is this about? Why? What was that thing? Why? Through all of the stuff that happened, why? Your multi-million dollar business. She's one person with 9,000 followers. She's not really fucking with your money. She gave y'all a bad review, and this is how you act? This shit is more than childish. What kind of company acts this way? This shit is awful. And not only did this company act this way, but then all of their fans and probably some of their social media team, I'm not gonna lie, went to Violet's page and started reporting all of her stuff for bullying. And the thing is, Instagram doesn't actually check if somebody bullies anything. Like, if it's bullying, they just delete shit. If enough people go in there and be like, this is bullying, they just fucking delete it. And then you have to appeal, and then somebody might actually watch it. But then if it's even slightly abrasive, they're like, no. And I mean, Violet's a black woman who was yelling really loud about how hurt she was. Of course they're gonna make it bullying, because anytime a black person says that they're hurt with any kind of bass in their voice, it's immediately considered violent. It's immediately considered abrasive and angry black woman. And so of course she got blocked, and they use that to their advantage. And Brie will tell you, oh, she's part, I don't know, Iranian, I don't know what she said, some sort of Middle Eastern, I don't give a shit. She'll say that she's a person of color and she's mixed. Well, so am I, bitch, but at least I act like it. I act like it. Also, Brie is very white passing. She looks like a white person with a tan. I look like a white person with a tan right now, especially with this bright ass white light. But I got black nose, so I guess that's a thing. I don't know. But either way, I fucking act like a person of color. I fucking act like I have some understanding of what it means to be a person of color in this world. Just because you are a person of color does not mean that you actually understand people of color, if that makes any sense. Y'all remember Niecy Nash's dumb? No, it's not Niecy Nash. My bad. Nope. Not Niecy Nash. Don't come for me, Niecy Nash. I wasn't talking to you. That's not the wrong name. No, wrong name. I meant Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash. Do y'all remember her bullshit? And I don't remember the exact thing, but basically, she will go off on black people for being abrasive and being like, oh, white people aren't that bad. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a while back ago, but there are plenty of people of color out there who don't understand other people of color. There are plenty. And with Brie being a person of color and having a multi-million-dollar company, like, being up in that, like, better financial range, changes people's perspective on the people who are not up there with them. It changes their perspective. So I honestly don't care. She could be full Nigerian. I wouldn't care, because if she's running a multi-million-dollar company, there is a chance that her understanding of social hierarchy and what it means to be a person of color down here with all the other people of color versus being a person of color up here hanging out with the white people, how that changes your mind and your dynamic and your understanding of the world. So pulling out her I'm a POC card don't mean shit to me. And it shouldn't mean shit to anybody else. Because just because you are a person of color does not mean you understand what it's like to be a person of color. It all depends on where you're raised, how you're raised, and where you are right now. That's all a part of it. And her using that as an explanation was bullcrap. And honestly, that is the whitest response I've ever heard to anything. That is straight up akin to, I have black friends, so I can't be racist. That is exactly what you just said. That's what she said. She just doesn't understand that she said that, which also tells me she doesn't really understand racial issues. I have lost where I'm going with this. I'm not gonna lie. This has already been 30 minutes. So I'm gonna try to close this real quick. I don't know if this is gonna be a coherent video or if this is gonna make any sense to anybody, but I'm gonna try to sum it up, okay? The problem was that the summation of this issue, and the reason why this is important, is that Snag Tights did not use not good business practices. Shitty business practices, basically, to deny to say that you're not hired. It was a shitty way to do it. And they, I guess, expected her to just be quiet, but instead she said, "Hey guys, shitty business practices. Maybe," like, she didn't even tell people not to shop from Snag Tights. She's just like, "Hey, Snag Tights kind of goes to me. That's not really good business." And then she was like, "No, you know what? I want more answers. I have a right to ask more answers." She emailed first, and they didn't want to respond until people started popping up on their pages being like, "Hey, can you answer Violet about what's going on?" So, okay, let me take that reminder back one more time. But that's not alcohol in that glass, by the way. It's just a cute glass. It's lemon water. It's supposed to help with all this stuff. So calm down. Um, anyway, so let me go back to my summation because my brain is all over the place. In summary, okay, Snag Tights use shitty business practices on Violet Vixanne. And instead of Violet Vixanne going the way that everybody else in the world goes and just being silent and just moving on to the next interview, she said something. She basically posted her review of the situation and what she felt it was about. Something she wouldn't have had to do if y'all would have gotten back to her in a timely manner without something that really seems very questionable to begin with, because when was this meeting? That could have been solved. She basically posted a review, and then she was like, "No, I want answers. I want questions. I'm an email, and if you don't answer this email, I'm going to take to your page, and I'm going to take my friends to your page, and we're going to knock on your door, and we're going to be like, hey, you can't treat people this way. Please respond." And instead of responding like a respectable business and being like, and either saying, "This is just how we do things, like it or leave it," they could have said that. This probably wouldn't have blown up like that. It would have been shitty. They're like, "Oh, okay, this is what you do. Okay, don't fuck with Snag Tights then." They could have responded that way. They could have just admitted that their communication was trash and they really should have done better. And they apologized for the way that they treated her. Or hell, you could have said nothing. Sure, you would have gotten comment after comment for a long time, but for a little while, but it would have been over. But instead, you launch an attack on one person with 9,000 followers, like it has anything to do with, like she could affect your money. You lied about a lot of the things that happened. You lied. They lied. I'm sorry. Again, switching tensions. I'm so sorry. Tenses. I'm so sorry. But they lied about a lot of things that happened. They lied about people threatening Bree's unborn child. And they sent their followers and probably some of their own social media team to Violet's page to report her for bullying and got her stuff taken down because she gave y'all a bad review for your business practices. That's fucked up, and that's shitty, and that's childish, and if you know nothing else, that's the answer. And she would not have had to keep making videos telling people that your business practices are shitty if y'all didn't attack her. If y'all didn't, I don't want to say clap back, if y'all didn't, if y'all would have just acted like a fucking business, if they would have just acted like a fucking business, Violet wouldn't have had to do all this. They could have given their stupid business, their general business answer as to why they couldn't get back to her in a timely fashion, and Violet would have been like, "Well, that's the answer we're gonna get, I guess. It's a shit answer, and it looks like we're just going to keep getting shitty answers, so let's just leave it alone. Fuck Snag Tights." She would tell 9,000 people sure to fuck Snag Tights, but not all of them shop Snag Tights anyway. Not all of them is going to listen to what she has to say, and it's 9,000 people in your multi-million-dollar company. It didn't fucking matter. It really didn't. You didn't have to do all this. It didn't fucking matter. And it's really stupid. Like, what do y'all do for everybody else when you get bad reviews? You have any bad reviews on Yelp or Google? What, you gonna attack them too? Get all their social media taken down? This was stupid. They really reacted like children. And that's the problem. And for me, that's the problem. That's it. They're reacting like children. They are not a good business for that. They are treating their potential customers and their potential employees like shit because they're acting like literal children instead of a genuine functioning business. So I don't know if this video is coherent. I don't know if I'm even going to post it. I'm going to show it to somebody first, and maybe they can tell me if this helps maybe explain what's going on. But yeah, I try to take out all the details and just kind of get down to the crux of why this is a problem. And like I said, the problem is they are a shitty business and they're acting like it. What do you say? Any other company that acts like trash, we blacklist them. And the way they are behaving is really awful and really stupid. It's awful. Hell, look at fucking Anish Kapoor. Like, well, I mean, he's not a business, but he had his little stupid paint color, and so of course somebody else kind of responded to him, and now we all laugh at him and stick dildos to the bean. So like, when you act like an ass, we're gonna talk about it. This is a new age of social media, and millennials not letting jobs treat us like shit. You should have did better. And when you did wrong, you should have admitted that you did wrong and that you should have did better. It's all that needed to happen. All that needed to happen. Heck, like I said, you could have just said nothing, and she's like, well, I guess we're not going to get an answer. Moving on to today's content. But to me, that's on them. So I hope this helps. I hope this kind of explains why it's wrong. It's not as coherent as my Emily Autumn video. I'm sorry. But yeah. Viel Glück. I said that in German, didn't I? My bad. Good luck.